What is up, everyone? It's Ross here on MGF Customs, where we've got problems. Hey everyone, it's Ross here on MGF Customs, back for a new haul video. As some of you already know, I was away out in California for the past month and a half working on a special project, and while I was gone, I had a lot of stuff that I had ordered and pre-ordered finally show up and arrive on my doorstep, but I wasn't here, and now that I'm home, I came back to an early Christmas, and I thought before I put all of this stuff on display and get to work on filming some of these parts for my second channel, I would go ahead and put this video together and do a haul video. Now, this isn't even all of it. There's a huge piece that I'm saving for the end, and I purposely didn't put it in the thumbnail of this video, so make sure you stick around because this is a pretty rare occasion, and usually I just kind of show stuff as I get it over on my second channel anyway, and never really have an opportunity like this with such a great variety of new collectibles and Lego. I was actually going to set up all the new custom Lego pieces really nicely for the beginning of the video, but totally forgot. Okay, I wound up abandoning that entire setup actually in favor of a bit of natural lighting here, and this, as you can see, is the biggest haul I have ever come home to from NatesMinifigs. So huge thanks to Nate for sending out these two packages while I was away. I am so excited by all of these 3D printed elements, and there's a lot to break down here, so bear with me, but here we go. Starting off with the front, we've got the President Loki hairpiece, which is really cool. I actually thought that it was going to be our actual main Loki variant who was going to have the crown, but instead President Loki wound up just being another variant, which was still awesome, and I'm still gonna paint up one of these hairpieces to put on the regular Time Variants Authority uniform Loki that I will be making for the showcase. And then also Scarlet Witch. Of course, this is going to be my solution to the god-awful Lego Scarlet Witch hairpiece coming in the CMF series. So I mean, it's easy to repaint that one, but personally I'll probably be using this one as an entirely new piece for that custom, which I'm also really excited to get started on. And then as you can see further back here, we have 3 Captain America shields. These have the rivets in them too, so they are specifically Sam Wilson cap shield, and this one right here in the center, if I can grab it, does actually have the handle removed, instead with a rivet included in the design to favor a micro magnet, so you can actually attach that to the back of the wingsuit. Not sure if Nate is going to be doing the wings at any point, but you've also got the Black Panther helmet back here, the new Rocket Raccoon micro figure with the rotating head, the limited trans red Ant-Man helmet, some regular Ant-Man helmets. I mean, there's just so much going on here. We've got the Iron Man Mark III armor sets, which unfortunately are missing the armor pieces for the arms and legs, which is totally okay. These are looking amazing just with the helmet and chest pieces by themselves. And then you can see further over this way, we've got elements from the Bad Batch. We've got Hunter's helmet, Echo's helmet, 2 variations of Tech's helmet. One with the lens is actually hollow for his eyes, and then one with them solid. We also have Wrecker back here, Crosshair, another Wrecker helmet in the back, a Commando helmet, a regular clone chest piece, Republic Commando shoulders, and of course, if you saw the most recent episode of the Bad Batch, those are especially exciting to have now. A ton of new lightsabers actually designed by my buddy Aaron over at LM9 Productions. So we've got Darth Maul, Anakin Skywalker, Luke Skywalker, Darth Vader, along with both versions of Maul's saber and the defensive and Shoto blades for Ahsoka Tano. There's even a Pip-Boy from the Fallout franchise, along with, of course, a ton of DC elements over here, including Robert Pattinson Batman gauntlets, regular Batman gauntlets, Robert Pattinson Batman cowls. We even have a couple Deathstroke masks back here, which is especially exciting if you wanted to make like the Nightmare version from the Snyder Cut. And moving even further over to the back for Halo Infinite, we've got the new Master Chief armor sets, and you can see we've got the helmets, the chest pieces, the waist armor, the leg armor, the foot armor, and even the shoulder armor. And then there's a Mark V helmet back here too from Halo 1. And moving more back into the middle, we've got some of the actual clone blasters here, the DC-15 rifle and the DC-17 blaster pistols. And moving deeper into the back middle here, you can see we've got a whole variety of different Spider-Man masks. Now, personally, these aren't really my style, but these are still so cool, and I will actually be using one of these for Zemo when I make him from Falcon and the Winter Soldier. This guy right here in particular, I think is going to work real well for that character. And then also, as we move further over this way, we've got even more going on here in the way of Marvel with the Avengers Endgame Mark 85 armor set. Now, these are like sort of preliminary versions, so the armor that I was sent for the legs and the arms is kind of fragile and a little bit weaker, and that's totally okay because these are on pre-order and Nate is still refining the design just a little bit, but the helmets and the torso armor especially are just fantastic looking. Finally, we have some extra Star Wars armor, and now previously he has already fully stocked me up on a lot of his Mandalorian armor, but we've got some extra Boba Fett and Bo-Katan gauntlets in the center here. We even have Ursa Wren chest pieces now, and Gar Saxon's in there. I mean, just kind of miscellaneous assorted Mandalorian chest pieces, but he is doing Gar Saxon and Ursa Wren full sets at some point. We've got another Din Djarin jetpack back there, along with a couple more of his belts in black, and then even some chest pieces for some Old Republic Mandalorians. I mean, the variety is just crazy, and that's one of the best things about all of the work that Nate does. The variety is just incredible, and the designs are consistently fantastic. Each one that he offers is just as impressive as the last, as he continuously improves. I mean, the hair pieces for Scarlet Witch, Loki, the Rocket Raccoon, maybe the shields, the Republic Commando elements, definitely the Master Chief armor for Halo Infinite, like I mentioned, the Zemo mask. I mean, the Iron Man Mark 85 armor pieces are so cool. My Ant-Man can definitely use the upgrade. The lightsaber hilts are great. Obviously, I'll be making a Battinson minifigure come 2022, possibly sooner. I mean, the utility that is being offered here by all of these elements for just bypassing so much of the sculpting work that you would otherwise have to do to achieve these results as physical Lego pieces is just not something that I take for granted. The work Nate and everybody else doing 3D printing work like this in the community is doing is just really changing the game. So link to Nate's store will be down in the description below, of course, along with his Instagram. Next up for the 3D printed haul, I've got my final haul from Tristan at the CustomBrickBuilder, who actually left the community over the summer right around when I left for California, and yeah, he just kind of suddenly announced that he had a really big and important opportunity and he had to leave, and so he put everything on his site on a big discount, sequentially increasing it like every day, I think it was, and I grabbed a few things as a final order, including a couple Sith Acolyte helmets. You've got an Arcan face mask in there. I've got a Tal's head, a Lasat head, an extra Frog Lady head, along with a Celestin head for Nia Numb, a couple pairs of extended legs, and a couple sets of parts to assemble the Sith Empire droids that you see in the Old Republic cinematics. Another sort of unorthodox 3D printed element that I got in actually while I was away is the new 3D printed General Grievous by Lego Enthusiast, and this is definitely really cool. You can find him on Instagram, and this is a fully articulated Grievous. I personally am not messing with it too much though, because he does sort of flop around a lot because the joints are a little bit loose and he is fragile and you kind of have to be careful. So definitely more of a display piece, and I know Aaron, LM9 Productions, is still working on getting his Grievous parts casted by Forge 510, so I'm still deciding if like maybe I want to turn this into a sort of live action interpretation of maybe the Clone Wars 2003 Grievous and then paint up one of Aaron's casts when those do finally start shipping eventually. But this is still so cool looking. I know some of you will say this is not Lego, but hey man, it's got the Lego hands, and I still really wanted you guys guys to see this. Now, I was already going to do a video on this actually before I left. I had the Mandalorian parts assembled and everything from Coldblood Customs. Now, if you guys don't know, Coldblood Customs is a bit of a newer vendor to the community that is offering basically the best Lego Mandalorian helmet in the entire community now, and it comes with shoulder pads that you can install yourself via micro magnets inserted into the minifigure arm joints, and gauntlets and everything. And he's got not just the season 1 set, but also the Beskar set, which I do intend to show you guys in a future video. And he's got a jetpack, the Beskar spear, custom printed faces with likenesses to Pedro Pascal, and custom gloves and everything too that are all coming out as well to basically assemble the best Lego Mandalorian minifigure that is definitely a little bit simpler of a process for those that aren't necessarily into the whole customizing thing and don't really want to paint up an entire 3D printed set of parts. This is definitely the next best thing. I can't wait to talk about it with you guys a little more in the future. Moving on to the new Clone Wars minifigures and accessories by Baggles Studios. Of course, Baggles Studios is one of the best designers in the Lego community, and it's always great chatting up Star Wars with him over on Instagram, but now he's actually got some of his designs physically printed in Lego, and they are amazing. I was really surprised by the quality of these. You can see I've got Dark Ahsoka here on the right, Satine from her final episode in the Clone Wars here on the middle, along with an extra Ahsoka Tano minifigure head pack, which has a bunch of different expressions for Ahsoka, including a Rebels version up top, kind of when she confronts Vader. I also have the extra Dark Ahsoka head here, again, double-sided printing for that one as well. And then further over here to the side, we have the Jedi Holocron, which is just one of the coolest printed Lego Star Wars accessories I have ever owned. And then also we have the Inhibitor chip, which is so cool, printed onto a clear 1x1 tile. But something even cooler than that, I think, is the iconic Her Universe Ahsoka shirt design actually printed onto a Lego minifigure body. This is really cool, and Ashley Eckstein herself got a kick out of it, I think, when Minifig Hub made an actual minifigure of her with Baggles' torso here, and she actually wore this shirt in real life for the Clone Wars 2019 photo ops at Celebration in Chicago. So it's just really cool having a Lego version of just like one of the most iconic shirt designs her company has ever produced. Coming up on the end here, I've got the new Phoenix Customs Miles Morales pad printed minifigure. Again, just a top tier minifigure as always by Adam. This is so exciting. I actually got in his Captain America the Winter Soldier stealth suit cap, and then Moff Gideon from season 2 back there before I left for California, and now this guy was here waiting when I got back, and I am so excited. I mean, this is just the definitive Miles Morales minifigure, and as far as a Lego style version of the character with pad printing just like official Lego, it really does not get much better than this. Now, one of the last things I wanted to show you is the new pad printed Mandalorian hands by Victor from Eclipse Graphics. I've already got a second pair on my actual Mandalorian custom, who is in dire need of some new upgraded parts from NatesMinifigs, but he still is looking pretty sharp, especially with Victor's new printed hands. These are amazing and definitely something that my Mando custom was lacking, because I generally never paint fingertips, even if I use the actual like fingertip color as the base color hand and then paint the glove around that. I generally just don't do that either, and so this is just kind of a rare opportunity to upgrade a minifigure with printed finger hands that I usually don't get. Alright, so starting off on the left side here, I got in a full set of figures from McFarlane for Zack Snyder's Justice League, including Ben Affleck's Batman in the tactical suit. I was actually supposed to receive the variant with the goggles up, but it looks like I unfortunately got the wrong one from Walmart somehow, so gonna have to follow up with them as to why that happened. Black Suit Superman is back here as well, and then we've also got Wonder Woman from Wonder Woman 1984, that god-awful movie, and because this figure pretty much satisfies the same look, McFarlane actually did not make a new Wonder Woman for the Snyder Cut, and basically you just kind of have to buy this one or like the Figure Arts version, and I actually got this Wonder Woman in advance of all of these coming out, and before I left for California. Ezra Miller's Flash is back here, a very dull looking figure, unfortunately, that I might wind up painting up myself one day. And then we've also got Cyborg, who has this really weird splotch of like bloody red paint on his chest. It looks awful, so another figure that might need some updated paint work from me. We also also have Aquaman back here, and finally the last two who I was definitely the most excited for. We've got Steppenwolf. Check this out. Huge deluxe figure, definitely does not disappoint. Another figure that has delivered would definitely have to be Darkseid, or of course Darkseid as he appeared in the flashbacks in the war, against the original gods. And so I mean, this is just so cool. But Target has the armored version on pre-order, which I am really excited for, and that's coming out soon as well. We've got Wrecker from the Black series. These figures are definitely interesting as they blend a lot of live action and animated elements together, but overall I think this figure looks great, and I'm very excited to position him on the wall. This is kind of random, but Thrawn is back here too with his new updated face print, which is pretty cool. Came out at the start of the year actually, but I only just recently pre-ordered that, and it came in while I was gone. And then way in the back middle here, we've got the Gentle Giant Clone Wars Season 7 Siege of Mandalore Ahsoka bust, which I've been very excited for as this completes the Trinity. This completes the set on my Clone Wars Season 7 shelf. So I was definitely looking forward to this, as it seemed like Gentle Giant was actually getting some delays happening, and I didn't know if this was coming out or not. Thankfully, they managed to get that release before all of those shipping delays happened in China. Unfortunately, I gotta get these guys out of the way now, but the Hot Toys Captain America from Avengers Endgame is a figure that I've had on pre-order since May of 2019, so I was very excited to find out that this guy was finally going to show up, and then I had to leave, and he was sitting here for honestly, I think at least a month now almost. And so I mean, this figure is incredible. It is the best Captain America figure ever developed, and it is 100% delivered, and this is only a fraction of what he comes with too. I mean, this is just 2 years of waiting finally culminating, and you can see in the packaging here he also does come with the Chris Evans head sculpt, which is just incredible. I mean, it is a perfect likeness, and he comes with the compass, of course the broken shield in all 3 different pieces and different hands. It's incredible, and I think it was worth the longest wait I've ever had for any Hot Toys figure. As you saw, Hawkeye was also dropped off from Sideshow, and this is another incredible figure by Hot Toys. And I mean, this is just so exciting because this is another one that I've been waiting years to have in hand, and he was actually released last year and finally put into production and made widely available. But I noticed the standard edition without the Ronin accessories kind of sold out, and I didn't really want to wait any longer, so I bit the bullet on this one a little bit earlier than I wanted to. But also it was a good time, I think, to grab him, as this figure again is just the ultimate Hawkeye figure and comes with so many other accessories for the Ronin appearance like I just mentioned. And really, these are figures that I've been planning on getting for a lot longer than even just 2 years, as way back in 2014 I kind of made a pact with myself that I was going to skip all of the MCU Hot Toys figures leading up to the Infinity Saga's culmination with Avengers 3 and 4, which of course became Infinity War and Endgame. And then once we got to see their final appearances, their final ultimate costumes, those were the Hot Toys figures that I was going to get and complete the original 6 Avengers in their final appearances together when they teamed up for the last time against Thanos. So really, I've waited to get these figures since Infinity War was announced, which was almost 7 years ago. Obviously, everyone in Europe got the Infinity Saga sets way ahead of time, and I actually ordered these on Zavi way earlier on in June, and never would have ordered any of these had I known I would be leaving swiftly after for a month and a half, because now we're into August already, and I 100% could have just gotten them with everybody else. But the Guardianship, the huge new Benatar, and the Endgame Final Battle, along with the Ironmonger Mayhem set, have all just been awkwardly sitting here early with no YouTuber around to review them. So, yeah.
Rex, what's happening? Fight him!
Alright, and finally the biggest collectible to arrive while I was away, the 1/4 scale Star Wars The Clone Wars Siege of Mandalore Ahsoka Tano statue on top of the holo table during Order 66. I have been waiting over 7 months for this, and it definitely did not disappoint. This is a custom third-party statue, so definitely not something you can acquire easily, and you have to be part of this Facebook group and sort of be available and ready during the pre-order window, and it's a kind of a whole process, but ultimately worth it, as this is definitely not something Lucasfilm or any of their official vendors are producing, and I think there are only like 70 or 80 of these in the world. This one in particular is number 30. The holo table is absolutely massive. It obviously lights up along with the lightsabers, and I mean, I've just really never had anything quite like this, and certainly not in this scale for one of my favorite characters. I was just really not prepared for how huge this statue actually is. Here's my custom Lego Siege of Mandalore Ahsoka from last year for size comparison. This is one of the biggest pieces I've ever owned. And since last December, I've sold off a lot of unwanted things in my collection just for this, and eventually Darth Plagueis, who is the next statue coming up in a few weeks here, but this is definitely something that I'm really not too interested in doing a whole lot, or possibly really ever again. Getting Ahsoka here and Darth Plagueis was certainly not a decision I came to lightly, as these are higher end collectibles, but they are so limited that you really only have one brief opportunity to get them, and really it's about what the characters mean to me personally, and also more so that Lucasfilm's companies that they have developing statues and collectibles like these are not producing statues like this, and certainly not for my favorite Sith Lord Darth Plagueis, whose appearance is considered non-canon now. And so to me, this statue represents the end of the Clone Wars for me, the end of my favorite series of all time, as it finally culminated and connected fully to Revenge of the Sith, and so this was definitely one that I could not miss. Alright guys, well that's gonna do it for the entire summer 2021 haul video. Let me know if you stuck around for the whole thing down in the comments below. I really appreciate it, and yeah, I've got this guy here though. He arrived here before I left, like 2 days before I left, so I really didn't get to appreciate this little dude, but this is the life-size Hot Toys Grogu, and I think this is hands down the best Baby Yoda on the market. Even if like some people will say otherwise, that the Sideshow one is better, I think this one is 100% far superior, and he's just a really cool guy. Alright, now I just temporarily put him on the floor. What a guy. Alright. The natural lighting in here is getting strange. This is, yeah, well, you can see I got this Master Chief statue as well. Man, look at the glow on him. On my birthday, June 14th, actually, a couple days before I got in life-size Grogu, but I went and got this at a local Best Buy because it was starting to sell out, and then sure enough, it did finally sell out pretty much everywhere after like its full year run on the shelves. And finally, got this. Check it out, Duel on Mandalore, the only Lego Star Wars Summer 2021 set that I got so far. You've seen this set. I'm still going to review it and a bunch of the other ones because this has been like the best August 1st launch of Lego sets in years, and Lego really knocked it out of the park with a lot of the Star Wars and Marvel sets that they just put out. So of course I do want to talk about these, but you've seen the sets, so I'm really not in any rush to do so. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, but the reason I didn't get the rest of them is because, listen man, after living out in California for like a month and a half, yeah, you don't exactly just come home and be like, yeah, I'm gonna buy an entire new line of the Lego Star Wars sets and the Marvel sets and a $400 UCS gunship. Doesn't, yeah, the wallet says no. Anyway, that's gonna do it. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for still being here. It's been a long time and a long video, so I'm gonna go. If you'd like to see me get back to work, wow, I just got like darker in here. I'm gonna go. You know where to find me. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Gonna be posting the custom progress on Patreon. You know the deal. I feel like I'm forgetting something. I definitely am. Bye.